I kick my daughters out after they ignored their sick little brother. Am I really the villain here? I, 46F, have two daughters, 22 and 23. They both graduated college recently and moved back in with me a few months ago because they were struggling to find jobs and could no longer afford rent. The house we live in belonged to my late husband, Robert. For context, I divorced my daughter's father about 9 years ago, and Robert and I got married a few years after that. We had a son together, Tom, who is 7 now. Unfortunately, Robert passed away 6 months ago after battling a long illness. Since then, it's just been me and Tom in the house. When my daughters asked to move back in, I didn't hesitate, even though I knew their relationship with Robert had always been tense. They lived with their father after our divorce and blamed Robert for breaking the family, mostly because of the toxic things their father told them about him. They never gave Robert a real chance. After their dad remarried last year, things soured between them and his new wife. Apparently, she treated them poorly, and after one bad fight, their dad cut them off financially, including the rent he had been paying while they were in school. That's when they turned to me. I let them in, even though I was nervous about how they treat Tom. They were civil but distant. They didn't go out of their way to bond with him, which I accepted as long as they were respectful. Then, 2 days ago, something happened that I just can't get past. I got an unexpected call and had to rush out of the house for a couple hours. Tom was sick, had been in bed all day with a fever, and I asked the girls if they could keep an eye on him while I was gone. Nothing complicated, just to make sure he was okay. An hour into my errand, I got a text from Tom saying he had thrown up in his room and had been calling for help, but nobody came. My heart sank. I tried calling both girls, but their phones went straight to voicemail. I dropped everything and rushed home. When I got back, I found both girls still in the house. One was sitting downstairs watching something on her laptop. The other was in the kitchen. I asked them if they heard Tom or if they got his messages. They said no, that they were busy. One claimed the kitchen appliances were loud, and the other said she was wearing headphones. But Tom told me he not only called out, but also texted them both. I checked their phones. Sure enough, both of them had read his messages. No response. No check-in. Nothing. I was livid. I confronted them right there, and they tried to play it off, saying I was overreacting and treating them like they were supposed to be the parents of Tom. But I saw right through that. This wasn't about parental responsibility. This was about basic human empathy. He's a 7-year-old child, their brother, and he was sick, scared, and alone. I told them they had 1 week to move out. They started crying, saying I was being heartless and that I was acting worse than their dad's witch of a wife. They begged me to reconsider, saying they had nowhere else to go. But at that point, I was too upset to listen. I told them this wasn't negotiable, that neglecting a sick child, especially one who did nothing to deserve their resentment, was not something I could forgive or overlook. Since then, they've been giving me the silent treatment, sulking around the house, and making me feel like I'm the villain. I'll admit, part of me feels guilty. I don't want to abandon them when they're clearly struggling, but I can't shake the feeling that this was a major red flag. If they could be this cold to their own little brother, who's never done anything to hurt them, what does that say about their character? I don't know. Maybe I overreacted. Maybe I should have given them another chance. But I feel like I need to protect Tom first and foremost. AIEA for telling them to leave? Update 1. It's been a little over a week since I posted, and I wanted to share what's happened since I gave my daughters 1 week to leave. First, thank you to everyone who commented. Reading through the replies helped me feel less alone in my decision. It was a rough week emotionally, a lot of silent dinners, slammed doors, and side glances. But I held my ground. I offered to help them find a temporary living solution. I didn't just throw them out to the streets. I helped them look for short-term shared rentals and even offered to pay their first month if they needed. One daughter, the younger one, was more open to talking, but the older one refused any help. She was extremely cold and only spoke to me when absolutely necessary. When moving day came, it was tense. They packed quietly, took their things, and left. The younger one sent me a text a few hours later, thanking me for letting them stay as long as I did, even though she didn't agree with my decision. The older one hasn't contacted me since. Tom has been doing better. He asked me a few times if his sisters were mad at him, and that broke my heart. I reassured him over and over that it wasn't his fault. We spent more time together recently, reading books, watching movies, and just talking. He seems lighter now. That worried, anxious look he had around him has faded. I've spoken with a therapist friend who suggested some family counseling if the girls are ever open to it in the future. I'm open to rebuilding, but not at the expense of my son's emotional safety. Thanks again for the support. I still feel sad, but but I don't regret my decision. Update 2. Some unexpected things have happened, and I thought it was worth updating you all. About a week and a half after they moved out, the older daughter texted me. It was short and cold. Something like, "I'm only texting to say I'm safe." That's all. That was it. But still, it was something. Then, just a few days ago, the younger one reached out again, this time to ask if we could meet for coffee. I agreed. We met at a quiet cafe, and honestly, it was emotional. She apologized, not just for what happened with Tom, but also for the years of coldness toward Robert and me. She admitted that living with their dad during their teenage years had shaped her in ways she hadn't realized. She said she saw Tom as a symbol of the life they lost, but that now she sees how unfair that was, to him and to me. She even asked how Tom was doing and said she felt ashamed for ignoring him. That meant a lot. I told her I was open to rebuilding our relationship, slowly, and that I'd love for her to be a real sister to Tom if, and when she's ready. The older daughter? Still no real contact, but I hear she found a roommate situation through someone she went to college with. I'm giving her space. I think she's hurting, maybe more than she shows. There's still a lot of healing ahead, but I wanted to thank you again. Reddit helped me find my backbone when I felt guilty. And now I'm seeing the first signs that maybe, just maybe, this boundary wasn't the end, but the beginning of something healthier. Update 3. Final update, I think. A lot has happened in 2 months. Both girls are now working part-time jobs. They're not dream careers, but they're making ends meet. I think being on their own has forced them to grow up in ways that college never did. The younger daughter has visited us twice, once just to see me, and once to bring Tom a little Lego set and read him a story. It was the first time I saw him smile that big around her. He hugged her goodbye without hesitation. I nearly cried. As for the older daughter, she finally called me. It wasn't a warm conversation, but she said something that stuck with me. "I still think what you did hurt me, but maybe I needed to be hurt a little to realize I wasn't acting like a decent person." We left it there for now. No promises, no fake smiles, just honesty. And I'll take that over silence any day. I don't regret what I did. It was hard. It felt cold. But sometimes protecting someone means making decisions that hurt others and yourself. My son is safe, stable, and feeling loved. My daughters are growing. And for the first time in a long time, I feel like maybe our family isn't broken, just healing.